Hi, I'm Chili Bin, and this is Raiden. We met on day 2 of our Appalachian Trail through hike and ended up hiking the whole thing together.
Now we're in New Zealand. We live in Nelson and explore the country every opportunity we get.
Subscribe to come along with us as we explore the great outdoors. So it's about 11 on day 2 of our trip, and we're just leaving Waiau Hut, heading back across the swing bridge to the St James Walkway, and we'll continue along the St James Walkway to Waiau Hut today. It's about a 16-point-something kilometre walk. Sometime this morning it stopped raining and the sun has just started trying to come out, so I think it's going to be a better day. Already walking past the river here, I can tell that the water levels dropped quite a lot compared to yesterday. We can actually see the rocks in the middle of the river instead of it just being a big brown mess. There's been quite a lot of geese as we've walked along this stretch of track, and it's quite sloshy. Just got to Ann Saddle. It's our high point for the day. About 8.5 kilometres uphill, and now we get about another 8.5 kilometres downhill to Waiau Hut. Quite a lot of snow up on those hills. This is nice of them. Oh wow. Okay, sneak up on them. So we are less than 1 kilometre from Waiau Hut, which will be our stopping point for the end of this day. Whether you believe the Far Out Gut Hook app or the dock signs, we've either walked somewhere between 16 and 18 kilometres today. Either way, it's actually been an absolutely beautiful day. What you see right now, this valley is just absolutely stunning. The sun's been out constantly. I think if it was the same temperature with the rain as it was yesterday, we wouldn't be having a very good time at all. And we might have struggled with a few of the river crossings as well, because we got wet up to about our knees today. But just seeing how much the water levels dropped overnight last night, I think it definitely would have been more challenging if it had kept raining. It's also going to be pretty nice to not have to dry everything out in the hut tonight. Depending on how much it cools down tonight, we may or may not have a fire, but otherwise I'm fairly certain we'll probably have the hut to ourselves, and be able to hang around for quite a while. It's like 4:20 now, so I'll get a final time when we get to the hut, but we'll say somewhere around 5.5 hours. And then just like that, there's the hut, sitting nice and high up on the banks, a long way from the flood water. It looks pretty big. I think it's a 20 bunk hut, this one. You see Raiden way off in the distance. I always make him walk ahead when I start talking to the camera, so I don't feel too self-conscious about it. This sign says we walked 17.5 k's today. Good morning. It's about 8:30 on day 3. We're just leaving Ann Hut behind us and heading to Waiau Hut today. Today's walk will see us keep following the St James Walkway a little bit further, and then we'll get off the St James Walkway onto the Waiau Pass Route and continue up the valley towards Waiau Pass. Waiau Hut is a fairly new one. I think it opened in 2018, which was the summer after I came through here on Te Araroa. So I haven't been to that hut yet. So it's a pretty small one. I think it's only a 6 bunk hut, but looking forward to checking it out. Our total distance for today will be about 26 kilometers, and there's a couple of big unbridged river crossings, the main one being the Ada River, which we were a little concerned about with how high the rivers were at the start of the trip, but after a couple of days of good weather it shouldn't be an issue. It's also quite nice to see there's a lot less snow up on the mountains today, so hopefully there won't be any snow up Waiau Pass when we head up that way tomorrow. We're going to be heading down the Waiau Pass track and stopping at Waiau Hut, which is before Caroline Bivvy. here's our river. We've got to get across it. That looks deep right where you are. So we just stopped at that stream to fill up our water, and I almost took a half swim. I sat down in the river, splashed water over myself, but it's icy, icy cold. My hat is soaking and I'm dripping all over the show, but it's pretty nice. We're in very exposed terrain today, and the sun is really, really warm, so a little bit of cold water relief was nice. So we're just coming up to Waiau Hut now. We've been walking for a little over 6.5 hours so far today. It's been really hot. I'm ready to be done. I want to go for a swim. I want to sit in the shade because we have had unrelentless heat all day. For the second half of our walk today, there's been one set of footprints heading our direction. Not sure where this person came from. They look fairly fresh, so we might have a friend at the hut tonight. Or if they're far enough in front of us, they may have stopped past the hut and kept going. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. Although the valley we've been walking up is really, really beautiful, today's been a bit monotonous. It's been fairly flat, just kind of pacing it out up the valley the whole day. Lots of water, lots of patches of swampy grass, which I assume are usually fairly dry and are only wet because of the amount of rain that's come through here in the last couple of weeks. Tomorrow is going to be a shorter day kilometres wise, but much more challenging. We'll go up and over Waiau Pass, so lots of elevation gain, and hopefully some spectacular views from the top.